Right, so this is going to be a kind of a video that reinforces my logic and methodology behind the creation of the Harrison's promotional video. Now this is only the rough cut for the moment, so it's going to show the progression. Well, hopefully the next time I do this, it'll show the progression between the rough cut and then the eventual final cut. But a lot of the stuff I can get covered in the rough cut, so you can see what my methodology, my inner thoughts basically of why I did what I did on the shoot, for example. So to start off with, let's play the video. So got a lovely tripod slide. It's a bit loud. So we've got a tripod slide. Again, thank you Sam Creamer for lending me your tripod slider. That really did help out. And it's overlapped immediately with somebody stating the obvious, essentially. Harrisons are chartered surveyors. Are chartered surveyors. Then bam, we cut to an interview style technique. We've got a mid shot and we've got a little bit of a portfolio behind our contributor. Now this is Doug.
A whole range of things to do with all types.
And we've got some text in the corner.
Property, commercial property, that includes.
Just to tell him who it is, we've got another tripod slide here. Absolutely beautiful. Actually looks like I'm marketing the Mercedes instead of the signs. This is RMS Eurolink. It's something that Harrison's been involved with for years and years. Buying and selling of and project development of properties in and around the RMS Eurolink area. And yeah, this is just a lovely tripod slide that reveals the signs and RMS in the background. So
industrial, retail, offices.
Absolutely beautiful. And I just realised we're on 480p. Let's whack that up. So we got a simple sign in, all inquiries Harrison's, and then there's phone number.
Leisure.
Now this is where a lot of people commended me for. I came up with the idea for this during the edit. Actually, it was completely not related to anything else. Just sprung to mind ever since Fergus mentioned it. Now now a lot of people have been, after watching this, have said, "Is this a two camera shoot?" I said, "No, it's only one. It was the Canon 7D with a prime lens. That was the only thing we used." But what we did was, if I compare this shot, this 11 to this 26, you're going to see all we've done is zoom in. But that's immediately created the illusion that it's now a two-shot shoot. Try saying that 3 times. So to stop it like getting all pixelated and stuff, we understood that it was going to be a web video. So Lex and I, when we sat down the edit, we said, right, we're going to render it out and set in 720p instead of 1080, because that's going to give us a bunch more pixels to work with. So if we want to do anything like zoom into stuff, if we've like messed up a shot or something like that, we can. And it kind of worked on the flip, because now we've got a nice mid close-up of the contributor, which we wouldn't have got before. So I really like that. So another cutaway, Concrete Court Sittingbourne.
Valuation of property, we sell property, we let property.
We're a bit of an unusual practice.
So again, cut into another person. This is David, I believe. Yep, this is David.
Like an iceberg. Most firms of surveyors, estate agents, you can work out what they do just by looking at the boards around the area, but that would only cover a small fraction of what we do.
So talking a little bit about the secretive side of Harrison's, like this can maybe appeal to clients that don't necessarily work on the grid because when I was talking to Harrison's, they did tell me that they don't always have clients that are open and in the public domain. So this also appeals to people that aren't in the public, that are in the private sector, that are in the military sector, etc, etc, etc.
It's really the development.
So another cut. This is another contributor, Brian Cox. Now he's on the right. We chose to do 2 people on the left, 2 people on the right. Just a little bit of change up in the interview. We've got the name in the corner, of course, and something just something behind them. So again, relating to Eurolink. So we've got Eurolink phases 1 to 4. So little bit of insight to Eurolink in a sense. So Eurolink was one of their biggest projects in this local area, but they do stretch around and do all other types of development.
We are, shall we say, undercover, where sometimes working for many years,
so simple cutaway of the roads and some development in the background, which Harrison's had to do with. This is known as Red Row. Opposite Red Row, they had a lot of development with Harrison's.
The concept of developing a large site, which can be 100 acres or
so. There's Red Row, which is another project they've worked with.
so, and taking it through the planning process. So we are probably instructed and involved on far more projects than you'll ever see our agency boards on.
So I think in terms of the interview technique, I think we've nailed it. There was no looking in the camera. I made sure to tell them that always look at me, and it really did show the level of work. Now this is just 2 little shots that don't really have a lot to do with anything yet, but we're going to iron it out.
We do a lot of development consultancy.
So now David's going to be talking about development consultancy.
So for example, we advise Mid-Kent College on the...
So now they're going to be talking about Mid-Kent College, which is relatively near me, so this shot was easy to achieve. Now I dubbed this the Vauxhall Corsarius tripod slider. It's an endless slider that has an engine built into it and has 4 wheels and is black. That also doubles up as my car. So what we did for this shot, we stuck a GoPro, we suction cupped it to my window, and then we essentially drove past it when it was absolutely clear. So I managed to get this unbelievable shot. It was nice wide angle. The day was absolutely beautiful, and the colour correction, it was colour corrected a little bit, and it just looks astounding. Well, I think so anyway.
Sale of their 2 sites in the Medway towns to help fund their relocation to their new facility. So we sold both their existing sites at City Way and Horsted, but that's something you wouldn't ever see a board on unless you were actively involved in that market. You wouldn't know we were involved.
So we got some more shots of like housing development that they've worked with, because they don't just work in the commercial and industrial sector. They work in the housing. They work in property as well.
Most of the work we would do, I would count to be on a regional basis, mainly across the North and Mid-Kent area. But for specific clients, we'll.
So now we're telling a bit more of the story. What sort of scope they can deal with. So it's all right, they can deal with North Kent, but okay, what about, is this a regional company or can it be a national company? So, you know, I'll hand it over to David.
Go where they want us to. So I've dealt with valuations on properties as far away as Plymouth and rent reviews and lease.
So this was Lex's idea, and it was just a case of whacking up the UK map and then just mapping out different locations that they've been to. So it's not like they're just a regional company. They can be national if the client wishes. The only thing with this rough cut that we need to sort out is maybe the timings. Obviously the beautiful nature of recording interviews is you can cut sections out when they're not talking. So if somebody starts to waffle a little bit or anything like that, we can chop it up into nice concise sound bites, if you like. And that's what we're going to do with this part, just to round it off and make it a nice little package, because I feel like it does overstay its welcome.
Renewals as far north as Oxford, but for the practice, within the practice, we cover the whole country. We've got clients that would take us to Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and all parts of England.
So obviously we're down in Kent, and like this is just an extension of where they can go. So tell the story.
Once we've made the initial contacts,
so this is a lovely road, road just off of Rainham that Brian took us round, and we got some footage of it, and it just looks beautiful. Beautiful day as well. That's not a picture, that's actually a video. You can see the clouds moving.
Effectively sit down and have a brief from the client.
So this is Adrian. This Adrian deals with more of like, because it's when I went to Harrison's, I thought it was just chartered surveying. Now it's not, because they also deal with valuations. They deal with project development. They deal with the buying and selling of land, etc., etc., etc. So it's not as straightforward as it is. So Adrian deals with more of the surveying side. and he was just going through. This is just him going through how he, you know, gets to grips with clients essentially.
Or tell us what their expectations are.
You know, I suppose in a sense people like to know what the process is of meeting with Harrisons, the steps you take to then commence the project. So that's what we did. It's another form of storytelling.
And what they look to achieve, and from the conversation we have with them, we work up a client brief effectively.
Some more stuff from Eurolink, looks beautiful. Managed to get a TNT van reversing. Again, it's more of like the commercial side that they deal with. It's always nice to have that.
And that will enable us to look at the realms of what work we need to do on the site. And then after that, we need to, if we go on site and have a look around, and we can advise further from that. We'd send the contract documents. If we have to prepare drawings, then we would send all those as a document off to the contractor, and the contractors will price those and send them back to us.
We see ourselves on the base.
So this is the final part. It's now a case of where does Harrison see themselves? So I got Brian to sum it up in the best way he can.
This is a national practice offering a wide range of services, and we want to expand the practice. We're certainly here to stay.
So, lovely little soundbite. We're certainly here to stay. And now it's just a case of the offices that we originally saw. You've got the Harrisons logo on the bottom right, which is the exact same one that we used at the start. So Oasis House, Harrisons. You got the exact same shot. Lovely GoPro, filmed at 2K, a slow tripod zoom. Again, thank you so much to Sam Creamer.
Certainly here to stay.
It's just a case of fading out. So that is, in a nutshell, everything that the rough cut. If I just pause that, because otherwise that would kick off. In a nutshell, everything that I did. Well, in terms of the editing process, there's obviously a few minor adjustments that we need to do. One of them being Adrian does stumble on his words around this part, so we can edit that out. I don't like the fact that it hard cuts between. Oh yeah, we used a bit of stock footage because we didn't have the access. We didn't have the access for a like confidentiality wise. We couldn't have the access for certain maps and blueprints and what have you. So we essentially went on Video Hive and got somebody making a plan. So when you know it's on Video Hive, you know when you buy it, you've got the rights to it. So that was more of a safety net on our side. So it was just a case of a 5-second cutaway that, you know, a quick time lapse of somebody making a plan. That was what we did. But Adrian did stumble on his words. We need to edit that out. I don't like the fact it hard cuts between Adrian and Brian. We need to iron that out. And yeah, it's essentially a full video. I mean, I'm really impressed with. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm really impressed with the work me and Lex have achieved. I did my best in terms of organisation. I kept to my plan, and it's just a case of showing the client now and getting the okay, and then getting my feedback to finish the unit. So a nice rounded off. If I finish on this lovely tripod slider again, nice rounded off video, which, you know, I was more than happy to do.